Hey guys, I'm Dennis. Welcome back to my channel, Guy with a Plant. In today's episode, I'm going to show you some unusual looking orchids which I hauled from an orchid show about 3 weeks back. So yeah, let's look at some orchids. Before I begin, just a disclaimer, all these orchids are actually not in bloom at the moment, maybe for the last one, so you'll get to see that. But I can promise you they are really beautiful and unusual looking. I wouldn't be able to tell that they are actually orchids if I spot them on a plant shelf somewhere, in some plant store. So I'm really excited to show them to you. I've attended this orchid show which was organized by this Orchid Society of Southeast Asia, and there was a competition as well, and the orchids on display were truly beautiful. But the one that I bought are the more interesting looking ones, I think. Maybe basically I'm still a foliage guy when it comes to houseplants. So yeah, let's bring the stars out. Alright, the very first one I'm going to show you is going to totally blow you out of the water. Just take a look at this. If I see this on the shelf in the plant shop, I'm going to say that this is a fern. So doesn't it look like something that may be closely related to the Boston fern? Look at the tiny and delicate leaves on this orchid. Yeah, tell me which part of this plant looks like an orchid to you. Yeah, even the name doesn't give you any hints that this is an orchid. It's some exotic sounding name. Yep, the label is here. Augustophylum stipulatum. So in the genus of Augustophylum, there are about 90 species from this orchid family. And the name is derived from the Greek words augustis, which means grass, and phylos, which means leaf. So referring to the grass-like looking leaves on some of the species. So I can't really get much information of this epiphytic orchid online, except they are found in tropical lowland forests growing on trunks or branches of trees. And they are found in Madagascar, India, Sri Lanka, Malaysia, Indonesia, and the Pacific Islands. So this tells me that it doesn't really need a lot of very high light. In fact, I've tried giving it very bright morning sun, and I don't think it likes it. It started to drop all these delicate leaves, as you can see from here, and some of the leaves are burnt. So I pull it back from very bright light, maybe bright shade will do. As this is an epiphyte, it appreciates a very loose potting medium, just like the rest of the other orchids I'm going to show you later, except for the very last one. So I hope this will do well, because this is definitely my favorite one of the whole lot. Because it's so interesting looking to me. I was immediately drawn to this when I was browsing around at the stores. So I'll make it my mission to take really good care of this, and hopefully it will bloom soon under my care. Yeah, look at these leaves, they are turning yellow, so I'm not sure whether is it trying to acclimatize to my conditions. As I mentioned, they are here for 3 weeks already, and hopefully they will be more stabilized. I'll put a photo of the flower of this particular orchid here. This has very tiny flowers, not showy at all. So obviously I'm getting this for its beautiful and interesting foliage. Yeah, so when I was about done to pay for my purchases, the lady just whipped out another one and showed me this. I really couldn't resist it, so I must add this to the list. Yeah, look at this interesting leaves. I think these are supposed to be leaves, but these are cylindrical shape, and it's really very succulent. So even though from the growth pattern, you can see that it's actually some kind of dendrobium, but the leaves are totally, again, un-orchid-like. So this is a really fun one with its stick or pencil-like leaves. So this is a Dendrobium, not an uncommon genus, orchid genus. So this is a Dendrobium Rosalum, which is also commonly known as the Pharaoh pencil orchid, very aptly named. This is a species of orchid that is endemic to a small area on Cape York Peninsula. I don't know where that is, I have to find out. It is an epiphyte or lithophyte, so meaning that it can also grow on either on the surfaces, tree trunks, or lithophyte, meaning it can grow between the crevices of rocks or on rocks. So I put a photo of the flowers here. It can be a cluster of up to 60 small white frilly flowers with yellow labellum. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Labellum, the little tiny dots right in the middle of the flower. So this Dendrobium Rosalum is a species. So again, another one that doesn't scream orchid when you see it on the shelf, or at least not to me. Maybe there are orchid experts out there who will scoff at me and say, oh my goodness, this is so common and you can't even tell that this is an orchid, but definitely not to me. Yeah, in fact, it kind of reminds me of this cylindrical Sansevieria or Dracaena. Yeah, you know those cylindrical snake plants? Yeah, it kind of looks like that, doesn't it? So the second one is the Dendrobium Rosalum, another interesting looking one. The next one is another fun one. Look at this. Again, I wouldn't bet my money that this is an orchid, but this is another Dendrobium. Look at this foliage. The leaves are really thick and very succulent, and the leaves are shaped like multiple fishtails, really stiff. This is the Dendrobium Rosalum. Is also a species, so they can be found in the peninsular Malaysia, Sabah, Borneo, and Sumatra. And again, this is an epiphyte or a lithophyte. So I must say this is the fastest growing orchid among the whole lot. And in the 3 weeks it has been with me, I can see all this new growth that's coming out from the older ones. So these are the new growth which are really skinny. So from online photos, I know the flowers will actually come out from the tip of the leaves. And it is said that they have the smallest flowers in this genus, Dendrobium. Flowers are pink to slightly purplish. So the leaves can get sun stress as well, just like some of the Hoyas. When I first got it, some of parts of the leaves were actually a little bit red, but now it's fully green, so I'm not sure whether is it getting not enough light. But anyway, these orchids get very bright light and some direct morning sun, so I hope they appreciate it. So if you ask me what this orchid reminds me of, it would be some kind of jungle cactus because of the succulent leaves and the way the foliage structure. Yeah, let me try to find a photo of that, and yeah, you can have a comparison. Alright, the next one is a pretty one. Take a look at this. Isn't this pretty and colorful? This is, I realize, another Dendrobium. I really love Dendrobium. This is not a species, this is actually a hybrid between, the name of this is Dendrobium Thai Pearl. This is actually a cross between Dendrobium Stanton and Dendrobium Mini Pearl. And wow, just look at the variegated foliage, it's so colorful. And the variegation is on the outer part of each leaf. And there is also purplish pink margins on the edges of each leaf, making this a really beautiful foliage plant to look at even without flowers. So in fact, I think most of the orchids that I bought in this haul isn't about the flowers, because the flowers are actually pretty small and very minuscule. So yeah, just appreciate them for their beautiful foliage. Okay, the next orchid which I'm going to show you, and this is the last one in my orchid haul. It's not an uncommon or unusual looking one like the rest. In fact, it's pretty common. This is Pathopedonum, but because I bought it on the same day, I shall include this in this video. This is a Pathopedonum Valesler Venom. It's really quite a mouthful. As you can see, this is actually flowering. So as I promised, the last orchid has a bloom, and in fact it has just opened up today. When I first got it 2 weeks back, it already has a bud which was going to open, so it finally did. So the flower is totally white, creamy white, including the lip of the bloom. It's really elegant looking. Yeah, I really like it for its simplicity. And this genus is native to Southeast Asia, the Indian subcontinent and southern China. So they will appreciate it if you can give it a higher levels of humidity. Alright, so unlike most of the other genus of orchids, the Pathopedonum is mainly a terrestrial or a lithophytic orchid. So meaning they grow on the ground, on the forest floor, or in between the crevices of cliffs and rocks. So since they are not epiphytic like most of the other orchid cousins, they need to be potted in a medium that is more moist and more moisture retentive, and they cannot be allowed to dry out completely before you water it. So it's really important when it comes to the potting medium as well as the frequency of watering, to make sure that even though the potting medium can be a well-draining type of medium, it's a pretty easy orchid as I understand. Of course, I'm still new to orchids, so I can't really comment much until I have more experience. So subscribe to my channel if you want to know the progress of this little fellow here. And as you can see from the foliage of this orchid, with these pale spots on the green leaves, so it's still a really pretty plant to look at even if it's not in bloom. So usually, but not always, the Pathopedonum will actually produce a single flower spike, which is known as the terminal spike. So once this bloom has died off, it will not regrow another spike in its place. But rather how the orchid will grow is to grow another smaller one by the side, which is commonly known as a fan, a new plant. And that small baby fan will actually take about another 1 year to grow into maturity before it starts to give out its own flower spike. So this is apparently a hybrid of the concolatory branch X Leucochilum banana splash. I really have no idea how do the parent plants look like. They sound really fanciful. Right, so I'm not sure whether is this the actual color of the bloom, because I've seen photos online. It seems that there are some burgundy purplish colored spots on this bloom when I search for this Pathopedonum on Instagram. So correct me if I'm wrong that this is actually not the final color, or maybe this is not even the hybrid. So let me know in the comments below, or is this even the hybrid that is being labeled here? Okay, so this is a very brief introduction to these unusual looking orchids that I got from the haul recently. So I'm definitely going to give you guys an update on their growth. I've really very little information on these skirts, so follow me on Instagram. I will definitely post pictures of their blooms. And yeah, I'm not sure how long the flowers will last, but that is something exciting to look forward to. So thank you for watching this episode. If you like more planty contents like this, do subscribe to my channel and also on the notification bell. I'll see you again in my next video. Meanwhile, take care. Remember to show your plants some love.